Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue number 9. Let's get into it. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, clinical trial. Moon Knight is at war. A rising criminal kingpin named Confronting Fairchild has flooded the streets of New York with a new highly addictive narcotic called glitter. Included on his payroll is Detective Fraser, nursing her own addiction to glitter, who turned to the police against Moon Knight and his allies. After a series of devastating losses, Moon Knight is starting to turn the tides, capturing Fraser and recruiting Fairchild's most trusted lieutenant, Carver. But before Moon Knight can cut off the glitter supply for good, he has to make sure he can help its addicts, who will die without it. The bunker now. Wham! Who is that? Who's talking? I'm not alone in here. Wham! 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 Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Clink, 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 clink. Ah! Wham! 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 Clink, 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 clink. The bunker then. So Moon Knight, do you know how Mysterium is made? You're asking me? That like I know. What Mysterium is, Pim? A metamaterial created by mutants from ultra-compressed carbons. Right, sure. Pearls before swine. For our purposes, what important is that Mysterium has powerful anti-magic properties. Glitter, as we've established, is a potent, if mundane central nervous system stimulant. Where it differs from the other street drugs is what makes it so terribly addictive. The substrate of exotic matter. Magic. Correct, which Mysterium can render inert. Great. So, we go get some. Production of Mysterium was limited to a special task group of mutants within the state of Krakoa, neither of which exists anymore. The infrastructure is gone. Get to the punchline. Mysterium is made of carbons, primordial elemental particles that defy explanation, far beyond the ken of ordinary scientists. But I was working with carbons almost 20 years ago. I called them PIM particles. CWAS 2023, number 4. So while I could conceivably make Mysterium in my subatomicon lab, I don't need to. I just need to synthesize enough of this anti-magic properties to combine with a chemical antagonist agent. Or rather needed to. Once I cracked the problem conceptually, all that was left was a couple of hours of iterative simulation testing and then synthesizing a sample. Here, a cure for glitter addiction. I'm going to need more of these. Later, we've got a cure. PIM delivered. But we've got a narrow window in which to use it. It's too complex to mass produce, let alone distribute. And as the number of glitter addicts rise, our ability to help them all declines. We have to cut off the glitter supply, but when we do that, we are left with a group of people who can no longer satisfy an addiction that they require to live. Correct. That, and we have to test PIM's mystery mix before we start using it to treat people. We can't rely on simulations. Hunter's Moon, you're a medical doctor. Based on analysis from Stark and PIM and your own observations, how much glitter is needed to form an addiction? Glitter is almost instantaneously addictive, brother. It takes very little to foster an addiction. No. Do you think you're being cute? Meow. That I can't see where this is going? You're not going to take glitter and taste Hank's cure yourself, Mark. It's the only way, Greer. It is not, Meow. Give it to Fraser. It could kill her. And the last thing we need right now is a dead cop on our hands. It has to be me. Hunter's Moon is the doctor. He has to stay straight. You, Reese, and Soldier are all post-humans. Then make 8-Ball do it. 8-Ball could die. You could die, Meow. I am a Fist of Khonshu, Greer. And Fist of Khonshu don't die. Save it. I've heard it before. Damn it, Mac. Why is it always have to be you who takes the heat? Because that's what I'm for. Now, Mark Spector, Moon Knight, is locked away as he fights his addiction to glitter. Clink! Rah! Clink! You made a mistake, boy.
Huh?
Thought you'd be awfully clever, awful noble, but you put yourself through the ringer. But you knew, deep down, that it wasn't going to be so simple, didn't you? Glitter is a central nervous system stimulant, bonded to a substrate of exotic matter. That's what your egghead pal said. And that your brain of yours ain't exactly stopped, is it? Not after years and years of a god sticking his finger in it. You knew the cure was going to hit you harder than some civilian, didn't you? Rah! But you just can't turn down the pain, can you? Of course, you never could. You've always thrived on it. You told Fairchild that violence was your vice, but that wasn't quite it, was it? It's pain. It's why you've been Moon Knight for so long. It's why you sabotage every good thing in your life to ensure that you always get your fix.
That would have to be it. What other explanation is there? And the guilt is almost as good as the pain, isn't it? The guilt of not feeling your little friends, your little werewoman. That the only reason you brought them into your life is to eventually drive them away when the hunger bangs get too bad, when you need to feed yet more pain into that yawning hole at the core of you. This isn't a theory, mind you, it's a fact. After all, this isn't the first time you've done this. And why shouldn't you? No, not you. I've got to say, Mark, I'm very into what you're becoming. Letting the wild dog off the chain to go after the vermin, going after Fairchild with the murder in your eyes and blood on your breath, kidnapping cops, taking drugs. It feels good, doesn't it? The irresponsibility, the recklessness, the sheer unbridled savagery. Why, maybe you didn't need me after all. Nothing. I'm nothing like what you want me to be. Oh yeah? When's the last time you went to therapy, Mark? Sure, you said you'd keep going after the Avengers took their boot off your neck, but you just kept stacking your excuses because you did have a breakthrough, didn't you? You figured it out. You realized that you didn't want to be better. No, not when you could be worse. Not when you could let the wild dog call the shots. Not when you could revel in the violence. Not when you could wallow in the blood. This isn't a psychic attack, Mark. You use your brain damage as a weapon. You can't tag in Khonshu to fight this one for you. Jake and Steven can't help you here. No, this is all about you, baby. So look us in the face and see what you really are. Ah! What? Where? Brother, you're awake. I apologize for the restraints, but after your violent episodes, it seemed wise. Is it over? That it was horrible. So I gather. But your vitals have returned to an acceptable baseline, so I believe you would have been through the worst of it. Tell me, do you feel any urge for glitter? God, no. I saw. No. You are God-touched, brother, as am I. You don't have hallucinations. You have visions. Whatever you saw was for you alone. And if I didn't like what I saw... Why would you expect a vision to be pleasing? We are the Fist of Khonshu, Mark Spector. We were reborn from the death with glorious righteous purpose, to suffer and cause others to suffer. Truly, we are blessed. You're a terrible doctor. Fraser, get up. Moon Knight? You got my glitter? Better. Dunk. What's this? We cooked up an antagonist agent to glitter. Congratulations, detective. You can kick if you want it. Suppose I don't want to kick. That's your lookout. I'm not going to force you. But I spent the last 2 weeks setting up my dominoes, and when I knocked the first one over, there's not going to be any glitter left by the third week. I'm not going to lie. It's not fun. How do you know? How do you know it works? Because you'll be the second person to try it. I was the first. You can do it? You can take him down? I flipped Garver. I beat her magic sword. I got a cure for a glitter addiction. If I did all that, you think there's anything I can't do if it means destroying Achilles Fairchild?
Carver, I don't like leaving voicemails, not when you're paid to pick up the phone when I call. Remember this, I'm the only one who can get what you want. What? No way. Mr. Knight?
Fairchild.
I ain't heard from you since I laid that beating on you, boy. Made me worried you forgot all about me. Hurt my feelings.
Look out the window towards Jersey.
And what am I supposed to see, Mr. Knight?
You'll see me, Fairchild. You'll see my work at your distro center. We're on our way, Fairchild. Expect us.
To be continued. Let's see what happens to Moon Knight next month in issue number 10.